Alright, boom boom, welcome back everybody once again to some DankNStein game development fun. We did DevTober in October. We made our first game. You can check that out in some sort of link I'll post somewhere. I said after that experience I'd enjoyed it so much that I'd like to try and make a game a month for a year. And then November and December kind of got away from me, you know, it's a busy time of year. But here we are in January, and I have been working on something slowly in the background, gradually. It actually started this back in November, but we are going to try and get this finished for, if not, like, it's going to count as our January game for our 12 games in 12 months. It might release in sort of early Feb, but we're going to play catch up. But this game, you know, you'll see what we've done so far. We've actually got some decent progress made. The idea is I did a top-down shooter last time, so this time I want to do a platformer, and I figured we'd do it about pirates. For now, we do have a character. So you can see we've got quite a lot of animations for this particular character. They idle, they can run, they can jump and fall. There's this wall state. That's right, we've got wall slides and wall jumps even. So they can go from the wall back to the jump state there. They land, they can crouch, they can dodge, they can do various attacks. We actually have 4 different sword attacks. So a bit of combo-y I kind of felt like I wanted to understand platforming and also wanted to understand like combo attacking. So that's basically everything I've set up so far. If we look at the script for the player, which is basically the only script we have going at the moment, we also have one for spikes, which is basically just if you land on the spikes you die. But the only other thing I've really been working on is this player script. And you can see we have a number of different states for moving, states for the different layers within the sword combos. Returning from combat back to a sort of move state and a dead state. We don't have an idle state. I kind of decided I didn't need one. We might change that. For now, the move state is the idle state. But the thing I want to show off here is just how much cleaner my code is this time around already compared to last time. We basically have our enum, our constants, our variables, and our onReady variables all defined. Then we have this one function which runs in the physics process, and then for each state we have a function. And then a lot of these functions also, actually some of these are very simple. The move state is not, so let's look at that one. We have coyote jumping sorted, which is basically a classic thing in platforming games where you kind of buffer the jump a little bit. So if you're just left a platform like 2 frames before and you press jump, you'll still be allowed to jump. But you can see, look, we've got apply gravity function, we've got apply friction, apply crouching, apply acceleration, set the blend positions, which basically just means which direction should the animation play in. Then we've got these timers for the swords. The timers basically ensure that the combo is delivered by the player at appropriate times, otherwise we go back to the returning state. And we also even have a blunderbuss set up. I don't like the animation on that at the moment. But yeah, basically the player script I'm really happy with, and it's finished. So that's kind of the first big progress report. Okay, so here's what the game looks like right now anyway. I think the player's an appropriate sort of size on the screen. The jumping's looking good. We have, you'll notice, parallax scrolling with the backgrounds. We've got the boards at the back, then we've got this middle sort of background layer, this kind of black, I don't know, these lumps and these like, you know, this flag and stuff, and then the foreground. So we've got 3 layers of parallax, which is quite nice. And if we land on the spikes, the level restarts, so that's fine, that's working. So what we can do is we can add with our tile map thing, this test block, we can add some features to the level. Okay, jumping as before. Yeah, so okay, so our jump is basically just 2 blocks up. Yeah, that feels about right. That makes sense. It's been a little while since I looked at this. But look, there we go. You can slide down the wall. It's pretty smooth. There's a little bit of like a pixely glitch here and there. And yeah, and we can jump off the wall as well. It was kind of hard to get him to jump off facing the right way, but I gave up on that. I mean, that's a little detail that we can maybe do better next time. But yeah, I mean, you can see it's like, it definitely works as a wall jump, so that's really good. And let's see if I can demonstrate the coyote jumps here. You can see he's kind of definitely leaving the platform and still able to jump. It might even be a little bit too lenient, that, but I think it's good to be lenient. So yeah, so that's the player movement script. And then in terms of the attacking side of things, right click is our blunderbuss. So we've got reused a lot of the like rotation stuff here. The gun rotates around you to point at the mouse. So kind of a bit Terraria style, I suppose, in terms of how the gun will work. But you can also see it does recoil. And this can be used as a double jump of sorts. Like so. Which I think is a pretty novel thing. I really don't like the animation I have for it firing. But rather than it firing a projectile, my plan is for it to be an AoE attack. But I just think, yeah, that sort of flash that I've got there at the moment is pretty ugly, and we could do better, and we certainly will. But for now, it's a good placeholder. And so it just works on a cooldown, the blunderbuss. You can't. There you go. Look, you can. I wonder. Oh wait, hold on. I think I tested it so that, yeah, look, you can see you actually can't gain height from it. You can just about float on it, but you can't actually gain height. So that was how we decided the cooldown on that. But it will be a weapon too. It's not just for jumping, of course. And then so that's right click, and then left click are your sword attacks. So we've got just if I click once, that's what we get, 1. If you click twice, you get a second swipe in there. And if you do 3 times, you get a third one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the animation, his hair gets messier and messier each time he attacks. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And then, yeah, if you hold a direction while you click, you get this powerful attack. It's like a charged one. So you can see it's a little bit slower. There's a few frames before the hurt box will activate. I haven't set those up yet, but the idea is that that's a much quicker attack, and that one's a slower one. I might actually need to change the animation speeds there, because the quick one doesn't feel quick. Although maybe we'll just make it so the hurt box is active straight away, because the sword's lunging from the beginning, whereas this one, the sword goes a bit behind you first. Anyway, so those are our attacks, and it works smoothly, you know. So you can hit, and then you can shoot, and then you can like swipe again. I mean, a jumping attack would be good, jump and then swing the sword, but yeah, maybe we'll have to save that for our next platform game. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. That's where we're at with this game, and the only other thing to show you, I suppose, are the enemies, which aren't actually in Godot yet. So our enemies now are just sprites at the moment in A Sprite, but the idea will be to for the theme of the game is pirates versus ninjas, of course. So yes, we've got some ninja enemies. I've made a few actually. We've got Ninja 2 here and Ninja 3. So there's 3 variants of these ninjas. Ninja 1 is going to be the most basic one. He has a walk cycle. Pretty basic. And he has an attack, which is just a punch. So this guy is basically, the way I plan this one working is he'll walk around, and when he gets near you, he'll punch you. Ninja 2 is even simpler. It's just 1 frame. And this guy is in a cartwheel position, and that's all he's going to do. He's just going to cartwheel around, and like if he hits you, he hits you, right? But he's going to be a lot faster than the first guy. We'll see once the level design is done. We'll see how he cartwheels. But yeah, I just thought I'd do one that's really simple. And then the third one is basically the same as Ninja 1, except he isn't going to walk around. He's just going to stand there. So he's just got a little bouncing kind of animation, which is a bit comical. These aren't finalized yet. And then his attack is he's going to throw projectiles. So it's a very similar animation to the Ninja 1's punch. But you can see his hand is like a little bit more open. It's more of a throwing motion. And so we're going to have some like ninja stars, shuriken, or whatever you want to call them. And so this guy, yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll just stand still in one place, and when you get close enough, he'll start throwing things at you. So we've got the slow-moving punching guy, we've got the fast-moving cartwheeling guy, and we've got the not-moving projectiles guy. So yeah, I hope you're excited to see how this game turns out. If you haven't played my first game, you can go to my itch page and play it. My first game was called Food Fight. Fun little top-down shooter. It's completely free to play. And I'll put the link to the itch in the description of these videos, I guess, from now on. So, yeah, that's all from me today. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you soon. Peace.